Hello and welcome to another special podcast. This is a continuation of the first podcast I did with my brother, VargasXX78, in
Hey
regards
there.
to. Wait until I cue you in. In regards to the Spider-Man story arc that they started with Marvel, in which Peter Parker has died and Doctor Octopus has taken over. Well, not more exactly. Well, technically died, but it's more like they swapped memories now. So Doc Ock took over. Peter Parker was suppressed to his subconscious memory, which, as far as I was able to read my brother's comic books before he left, the home that he lived with us, I was able to read up to the point where Peter Parker memory was erased by Doctor Octopus. From there, he has moved on, and I haven't been able to read the comics or keep up with it. And he came up to me saying that they actually have ended this story arc and Peter Parker's back. So he was interested in doing another video, like a part two, of the aftermath. I don't know much of what happened after it, so in case anyone else also doesn't know or is following part two from the link that I left, uh, brother, go ahead and give him a quick rundown on what happened.
Well, yeah, actually, I don't know how they're going to deal with that because technically, when they switched bodies, Peter Parker died. He died in Spider-Man in Doc Ock's body. So Pete's dead. Uh, they handle it a weird way because what's actually inside Spidey Ock's brain is like Doc Ock left Peter Parker's memories intact. So all the memories kind of came together and created a ghost Peter Parker. So that's what's been haunting Doc Ock. Now, Doc Ock deleted all of his Peter Parker memories, so he got rid of that ghost. And then Spidey Ock went and he killed a couple of people. He became a more ruthless vigilante. He blackmailed Major J. Jonah Jameson to give him his own secret base. He hired a bunch of mercenaries to be his own private army, and he took out every other gang lord from the Kingpin on down. So yeah, I don't know how they're gonna handle that because technically Peter Parker's dead. He's dead. The Peter Parker that's running around right now is the again like the collection of all his memories. Basically, the way that the story ran down is that when the Spidey Ock was taking out all the other criminals, the Green Goblin came back, Norman Osborn, and he would recruit all the mercenaries and all the henchmen from the other groups. Basically, he had this huge freaking army, and he also recruited the Hobgoblin, and he brought back Menace, and he set himself up as the Goblin King. So once Spidey Ock thought he was on top of the world because he got Peter Parker a doctorate. Doctor Octopus didn't. He thought he was still as Peter Parker had a doctorate, and he's like, "Oh, but you can't talk to me like that. I'm a doctor." And everyone was like, "You're not a doctor. Peter Parker didn't finish his studies." And he was like, "Oh, this cannot stand. I have to be a doctor." So he got him his doctorate. Now Peter Parker's officially a doctor. And he got fired. Well, his old job at Horizon literally blew up. So he built himself his own company. He built Parker Industries. So he set up Peter Parker to be everything that he never was. And that's the moment when the Green Goblin strikes and unleashes hell upon New York. And Doc Ock tries his best to actually contain the situation, and fails miserably. He for all his boasting that he's the superior Spider-Man, he has no way to deal with someone like Norman Osborn. So what happens is that while the Goblin Nation story arc was happening, which is the last story arc, that remnant of Peter Parker comes back and relives all of Dr. Octopus's memories up to the point where the original Peter Parker dies. So when the original Peter Parker dies and he sees his life flashing before his eyes, that remnant kind of taps into that and completes himself. He basically powers himself up and is able to manifest himself inside Doc Ock. Doc Ock realizes this and he admits that he can't deal with Norman Osborn. He is unprepared for something like this. So what he ends up doing in issue 30, which is the last issue of Spidey Arc, is that he seems to delete all his memories because he doesn't want Peter Parker carrying any of Doc Ock's baggage. He wants Peter Parker to be Peter Parker 100%. So he kind of like deletes himself, and then in issue 31, which I haven't picked up yet, but I know what happens because I kind of spoiled myself for that. Peter Parker, full-blown Peter Parker, in control of Peter Parker's body, goes after the Green Goblin and somehow puts a stop to everything that was going on. So issue 31 is the last issue of Superior Spider-Man, and you're going to relaunch the Spider-Man books as an all-new Amazing Spider-Man #1, but with Peter Parker in the body.
Okay. So, what I'm getting, but anyway, what I was saying is, well, sorry, the echo's bothering me, but is that your laugh? And that's on your end, isn't it?
What?
There's an echo.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, okay. Hopefully it's not picked up within the recorders. It's gonna be really awkward. Anyways, what I was saying is that, well, so far that story sounds it kind of like it had like a quick ending to it. Because I'm not sure if story arcs usually go that way or end that abruptly, but it seems that Doc Ock like gave up too easily. But I guess the writers must have gone with the pressure, because I do notice that before the entire this arc even begun, there was videos about this. Considering that the idea was stupid, or I think you even told me that there was even death threats to the writers, which I mentioned that that's just that's just a silly idea, because we knew this was gonna happen.
Yeah, everyone. I think the reason why it came up so fast is because they wanted to get Peter Parker back just in time for the Amazing Spider-Man 2 movie to come out. Because the Amazing Spider-Man 2 in the U.S. comes out next week. The same week that Amazing Spider-Man #1 is going to come out. So I think they did that on purpose. They told the writer Dan Slott to hurry the hell up and bring back Peter Parker, because we want to tie it into the movie.
Correct, and they probably didn't want the confusion that the Peter Parker that we see in the movies is not him; it's actually Dr. Octopus.
Yeah.
Although
the whole thing really does feel really rushed. They had 30 issues to kind of flesh out Doc Ock, and I don't think they did that in the main comic book, because like we talked on the last video, at least I wanted to have Doc Ock kind of redeem himself, and all he really learned was a slap of humility. Because in this comic book, he was always boasting that he was better than Peter Parker and he was going to do things better than him. And he kind of did, because he built his own company and he got his doctorate. But when push came to shove, he couldn't beat the Green Goblin. And there was really no interaction between them. Doc Ock never did anything to be like, I'm a criminal genius, I'm better than you, Norman Osborn, I'm better than Peter Parker. And they didn't do that. So there's really there's no redemption on Doc Ock's part. Again, there's only humility, because he pushed himself aside so that Peter Parker can beat the Green Goblin and save the city. But I don't think he's dead, because he seems like he deleted himself. But I'm pretty sure that what they're gonna do is that they're gonna, I don't know, he just downloaded himself into something. But I hope they retain that humility and don't, if he does come back, not have him be all like evil and resentful that he didn't do jack shit.
Didn't do jack shit.